Hello, friends. We are here. It is another Sunday. It is dark in my frame. Or, well, it's light back there. Very backlit. Whatever. Um, I am here for another stream. I genuinely almost forgot because I didn't stream last week, so then today I was just going along, and then I'm like, oh, it's Sunday. I'm streaming. Hello, welcome. Is that a little lizard in your avatar? That's really cute. Welcome, how are you? Let's see, do I have any plans for today? No, nothing exciting. I'm just going to be doing my usual end of the week bullet journaling stuff, and then I will be reading. I am currently reading Monster, which is a psychological horror manga. It's very good, and I'm only a few volumes till the end, so I don't think I'm going to finish it tonight. But tomorrow, definitely. I'm so excited. Oh, Ruby is a really cute name. I love lizards. I used to have a pet chameleon, and her name was Austin, and she was so cute. Now I just have cats, which I love. I'm not saying anything against cats. I adore cats. I love my cat so much. I do kind of wish that I could get another lizard at some point. Maybe another chameleon. Maybe a bearded dragon? I don't know. I really like lizards, if you didn't know. Um, yeah, feel free to let me know what you guys are working on during these sprints. I have pulled up timers. I was going to just use the shuffle button and have the timer gods decide what we do. But then I'm like, I'm kind of in a springish mood, so I have picked out 3 timers for us to do, and they're all vaguely spring-ish. They feel like spring to me, so we're gonna do them, and I'm very excited about that. Give me a second while I take a sip of my water that I forgot to top off before going live. Oof. Yeah, so that is what's going on with me, I guess. I thought I had something else to say, but I don't think I do. Working on my House of the Dead, a collection of short novellas set in a haunted house in a haunted town. Ooh, I love that. That sounds so cool. I love like haunted houses and ghost stories and stuff. So good. Got a little bit of a synopsis. After his father dies, a teenager living in a haunted house seeks the help of a local clairvoyant and her brother to contact him one last time, only to find themselves trapped within the house. Oh, that sounds so good. I love that. I'm wishing you all of the productive luck with writing this because that sounds awesome. Why don't we pull up the first timer actually? Because I'm listening to a really good playlist right now and I kind of want to jam out a little bit more. It's my Spotify day list, and right now it's Steampunk Dark Cabaret Sunday Evening. It's so good. I'm having a great time this evening. So, the first timer, let me make it full screen and then I'll pull it up. Ooh, we have another comment. I already have 3, hoping I can add more during Camp Nano. Nice. This is the pink tea timer from the lovely author Anne Sophie, a good friend of mine, and I just liked the pink vibes of it. So this is going to be our first timer of the evening, and I will see y'all on the other side of these 20 minutes. And that was the end of our first sprint. Be sure to tell me how that went for you guys. I see we had a Wallace pop in for a second, getting groceries before snow. I do not envy you the snow. Then we have Elisa. Hi, friends. Here, but having mental health problems, so we'll see how this goes. I am sorry to hear that. Please let us know if there's anything we can do to help you out, even if it's just hanging out like this for a little while. Lisa is struggling over here. I feel that. I've had some of those days recently myself. Let's see. What did I do for 20 minutes? I just did my bullet journaling. I pulled my tarot card. This feels very in my face right now. Pulled my tarot card for next week. I made my to-do list. I don't know why that's still up. Sorry. Yeah, just that stuff. But finishing my journaling stuff means that I get to spend the rest of the sprints reading, and I'm very excited. The cat is crying at the door. She's not allowed in here when I'm streaming. Chloe got 311 words. Nice. Could use a sounding board, trying to work stuff out in my brain. My brain is not braining very well. Fair enough. Feel free to share it here. I'll do our best to help you out. Yeah, smashed it. I should have come up with questions for the breaks. I never do, and then I always come on here and I'm like, I don't know. Let's see. Is there anything fun happening this upcoming week for you guys? Easter's next week. I'm not doing anything for Easter except playing Animal Crossing because it's Bunny Day, but even then I probably won't play much because I've played it the past couple of years, so like I know what happens and all that. I have all the items. But it's still something fun. I gotta deal with license stuff again because that's still not figured out. And I gotta file my taxes. I'm not listing very fun things, but some stuff I gotta get done. Oh, I just read this in my head. I didn't even think to read it out loud, but yeah, that sounds really rough. I'm sorry. I wish I knew how to help. Even if I did know how to help, I doubt it would be something as simple as just saying something and be like, wow, I'm doing so much better just hearing that. Because like, I know that kind of stuff doesn't really work. But I hope it eases up soon and you get a nice reprieve from it. Doing an assignment all my brain wants to do now is right. Makes sense. Nothing really just working. Job hunting is going terribly. Thank you for asking. In the past week and a half, I got a rejection from a job that I was like 100% sure I would get because I'm completely overly qualified for it, and I thought the interview went well, but I guess not because I got an email one day at 3 in the morning was the timestamp on the email saying, hey, we're going with another candidate, and I was like, cool, all right, way to give me a blow to the ego there. And then actually I can check Indeed right now. I applied to a job that's like a receptionist position at a like not spa, but like a salon type deal. And let's see, right now 376 people have applied to that position. So I don't think they're even going to look at my resume at all. I applied like I think the day after it was listed. I think it said like listed 1 day ago. And it's been several days and I still haven't heard back and I don't think I'm going to. So it's great. Just gotta keep going. Yeah, taxes suck and are annoying. Yeah, it was not great. I don't know, a thought for you about jobs, actually. Sure, I am open. Well, let me know what your thought was. I'm very curious. I need another sip of water. I should really refill this on the next sprint. I don't think I'm going to, though, from being completely honest. I don't think I'm getting out of this chair. I'm very excited for the next sprint because I have a very lovely timer that I know everyone enjoys coming up. Oh, what something else that I could talk about is the fact that I changed my background a little bit. I should just run this side. I have this white bookcase, and on the other side of the window, I have my other big white bookcase, and I kind of just switched which books were on which bookcase. So it's a little bit of a background change. Ugh, clicked on the wrong one. If you're considered vocational rehab, they tend to hire people with disabilities and maybe help you get your feet back under you job wise. Yeah, I have a friend, a very dear friend of mine, is like very good at like how do I put this? They're very well versed in organizations and stuff like that, and just very knowledgeable about how to be an adult. And they've been so great with helping me. And we've looked through like things in this area and I don't really qualify for much. And the stuff that I do qualify for with like job assistance and stuff are like paid programs and things, and I don't really have the money to pay for that, even if they help me find a job in the long run. Like, I just don't have the money to spare, so it kind of sucks. But um, I've done a little bit of looking at stuff like that, but not a ton, really. Thank you. I appreciate it. I really like how my book is there. It's actually stacked on top of a few notebooks because I didn't want to like block it, but I wanted to put my really cute sugar and creamer dish in front of it. So I like had to prop it up a little bit so you can still see it. Not that you can see it from this distance anyway, but I think it's really cute and I like how it turned out. That's fair. I appreciate it. I'm grateful for the help tip thing. Really I am. It's just job stuff is exhausting, and I know I don't have to tell you that, but here's a reading issue I'm having. I have a hard time knowing if I've read stuff or if I've skipped around, etc. I don't really skip around much, maybe a minute at a time, if that. Oh, I feel. I would recommend. I don't know if this would help, but it seems like maybe it would. Of course, I don't. I'm reading an ebook right now, so I don't really have. We'll use Myrtle because that has words in it. So if I could open up to one of the pages that actually has words. So, like here, see the paragraphs and stuff? I also don't have. Oh, you're reading audiobooks. I'm still going to finish giving you this tip just in case you have a physical book. I don't have a bookmark, so I'm going to use. If I can pick up just one, an index card. If you like cover it up and you move it down line by line, that way your brain can't trick you into thinking things are happening when they're not. I know I used to do that a lot when I was a kid because I would have trouble like keeping my spot on a page. Oh, I'm dropping everything. Oh no. I have a stack of it's my volume of Myrtle and then 3 notebooks and then a stack of index cards on the corner of my desk, and it almost just all went tumbling to the side behind where my computer tower is. That would have not been fun. Um yeah, I don't know about audiobooks. I am not an audiobook person, so I don't really have any tips for that. brain gets stuck and thinks I need to reread a lot. I can't tell what's true and what's not. Yeah, I'm sorry. Feels like I need to reread, but then I think about it and it's like if I skipped stuff, then it would be maybe a minute here and there. Use Audible. Yeah, I don't. I listened. I did actually this past month listen to an audiobook without reading physically along with it because it was a self help book, and I was like, I can read this as an audiobook just for a change. I didn't like the book. I had no trouble following it. I don't think so, at least. There were a couple of times where I kind of started ignoring it, but I don't care anyway. It's just not. Self help books are not my thing, I think. Chloe's got some advice, perhaps? You have an overlay on it? Interesting. Do I just give myself grace and move on? There's one I put in my bullet journal that I don't feel confident that I totally read, so I have to go back and do it again. Honestly, I think just move on. There are definitely times where I've read, like, physically, and I've just been, like, skimming stuff, and I still count it as reading. Like, you don't have to take in every single word of every single chapter for it to be considered reading. Like, I think you're okay. Not trying to downplay the issues you're struggling with right now, but I don't think you have to not count this as reading just because you don't pay attention to a few places here and there and you miss some lines. You either have a set line or paragraph? I dozed off a little, but only for a couple minutes. I feel like as long as you get the gist of the book, like you don't need to remember every single detail at the end of it. Even if you read like every single word on every single page, or in this case, listen to every single word that they say, you're not going to remember every detail at the end of it. So I don't I don't think it's that bad. I think you can cut yourself some slack and move on. Yeah. Called Reading Ruler. Interesting. What book are you reading, if you would like to share? Hello! Welcome, new friend. I don't think I've seen you around. Coming in with some conversation. I much prefer physical books, but I live in a teeny tiny house with very little storage, so I have to use a Kindle and my phone for reading at the moment. Very fair. I, too, prefer physical books, but my reading is about 50-50 between physical and reading because I sacrifice a lot of space for books. Not here. This is the first place I've ever had like a separate office with space for my bookcases, but like when I lived with my parents, I shared a room with my sister, and it was a very small room, and pretty much all of the space that wasn't taken up by my bed on my half of the room was taken up by books. The Ersatz Elevator, a series of unfortunate events, book 6. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't remember that one much. I don't remember the middle books of that series very well because the last time I read it, I binged all 13 in a row. And so I remember the beginning part really well because I've read those a billion times. And I remember the ending really well because it's the end of this massive series. The middle all blends. Seen Emery around somewhere before. Hello. Chloe says happy to help. It's my first time on one of your streams. Have subscribed. Thank you. I have 2 toddlers at home, so I can't have books in reachable places. Yeah, I understand that. I don't have children, but I have a cat who really likes to pull books off of shelves, so she's not allowed in the office unsupervised. Read 5 books this month after reading nothing for months. Nice. Are you enjoying the books, even if you don't remember later on? I feel like as long as you're enjoying them in the moment, that's the biggest thing. At least for me. I read too much that, like, I'll remember I read a book, but if it's been a couple of years, I'm not going to remember anything that happens, but I'll remember how I felt about it. I don't know why I just got, like, out of breath for a second. Yes, mostly they're getting a bit repetitive, but I love the characters. Fair enough. Yeah, I feel like with a really long series like that, it's hard not to get a little repetitive. We have been chatting for a while. What do you say we start the next sprint? Oh, yes. Lemony Snicket has a wonderful writing style. You can see right here all of my Lemony Snicket books all lined up. Not all of them. I just got a new one. I got the, like, companion book to All the Wrong Questions. So at the end here, I have the first 2 All the Wrong Questions, and then there's like a collection of short stories that goes between books 2 and 3. So I have to read that. And then I have to find 3 and 4 somewhere. I thrift these books. Get them eventually. Kids' books too, they get a little repetitive, yeah. Very much a slow reader. My goal for this year is 25 books, and I'm currently on my 4th book for the year. You're making progress. Everyone reads at their own pace, and as long as you're enjoying it, I think that's great. Officially, I'm going to leave the one in my bullet journal as it is and count it. I'm going to start the current book over. Okay. I'm glad you've come to a decision, and hopefully we could help a little bit, even if not a lot. Let me make this timer full screen. We have the bees. One of the best timers. This is the 44-minute and 44-second honeybee timer by the lovely Writing Violet. This is a very good point, Lisa. It's my own challenge, so like I can't cheat. Very good point to keep in mind. Yes, the bees. So we got a chunky boy. I am gonna press play. Right? It's so cute. And you'll see when I like actually press play, there's a bee that sits right over here behind where my camera is, so it looks like my little camera box has wings. It's adorable. So I'm gonna press play, and I will see you guys on the other side of this timer. And that was the end of our second very long sprint. I'm not gonna lie, that felt so long. How did everyone do? I continued to listen to my playlist and read. I read a lot. I have less than 40 chapters left of this manga, so I'm definitely finishing it. Honestly, I might stay up a little later than usual tonight just to finish it out. If not, I'll finish it tomorrow like I planned. But it's so good, guys. This manga is great. I'm very much enjoying myself, and it's on my list of 24 things that I wanted to read in 2024, so I'm checking off something from that goal. Chloe got 509 words. Great job. That's a lot. Lisa smashed it, started the book over, and got through to chapter 3. Nice! I'm very glad for you. The manga I'm reading is called Monster. It is by Naoki Urasawa, and it's from, I believe it started in the late 90s and finished in the early 2000s. So it's about 20 or so years old, and it is about a Japanese doctor who moves to Germany to further study medicine, and it takes place in the 90s, so there's a lot of political implications there. And one day he saves the life of a little boy who had been shot in the head, and that boy goes on to become a serial killer. Things happen. It's really good. There's a lot of like cat and mouse elements to it, and like all these plot threads that seem kind of random at first, but then you see they like connect and it's very intricately woven. It's really good. I can see why this is like a critically acclaimed manga, and this mangaka is like super famous. I definitely want to try out some of his other stuff because I know he's got a few series that people say are really good. So I'm definitely going to check out more of his stuff in the future. Emery got 1,244 words and about to close out a chapter. Holy cow, that's so good. Congrats. I love a cat and mouse story. Yeah, it's so good. It's really good. There's also an anime that I have not seen, but I've heard is like very faithful to the manga. So if you would rather something to watch, you can watch the anime instead. But like, it's this doctor who's trying to find this now grown-up boy that he operated on however many years ago. But then there's also this detective who works for like the German Secret Service or something like that. It's the BKA. I don't know what that is. I don't know much about German politics, but he is hunting down the doctor because he thinks the doctor is the one who like has been doing all of these murders because he doesn't believe this other boy actually exists. And then that boy has a twin sister who's out doing stuff. It's a wild ride. There's like so many things going on, but it's not super hard to follow. Like there have definitely been times where I've been a little bit confused, but like for the most part, it's a lot, but in a very manageable way, if that makes sense. Yeah, if you do pick it up, or if you watch the anime, let me know. Give me 1 second. Um, There's an ad on my Spotify right now for Pitbull. I guess he has a new song or album out or something, but it's just him staring out, and I don't like that. Very weird. Yeah. After I finished Attack on Titan, of course. I this is gonna sound like blasphemy. Don't really like Attack on Titan. I watched the first season back in middle school, which was 10 plus years ago, and I thought it was okay, and then I didn't like it was fine, but I didn't think it was good enough to continue on. And I feel like I'm the only person who's ever had that opinion. I feel like everyone who watches Attack on Titan loves Attack on Titan. But I don't know, my interests just lie elsewhere. Which is weird because my interests when it comes to manga are like almost exclusively things aimed at younger boys. Is my taste in manga. Although I do read like manga aimed at older audiences too, but fair enough. I'd argue it gets better as it goes on. Kind of meh. Stuck with it, and 2 and 3 kind of slapped. That's fair. I haven't. Okay, I was just about to say I haven't watched manga in a while, but I literally just watched JoJo Part 1 yesterday for the 4th time. I've watched JoJo Part 1 4 times in the past, I'd say 15 or 16 months. Less than a year and a half, I've watched this 4 times. But it's like, I'm editing my gay vampire story right now, which is based on JoJo Part 1, so I had to rewatch JoJo Part 1. It's only 9 episodes. It takes about 3.5 hours, so, like, you can kind of just pretend it's a long movie. But besides that, I have not watched anything in a while. I still have to watch Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, and I started Bungo Stray Dogs. I watched, like, 2 or 3 episodes and just never continued. The same thing happened with Neon Genesis Evangelion. I watched like 2 episodes and just didn't continue, even though I was enjoying it. I don't know. I haven't really been in a watching mood lately. Yeah. I, for the longest time, did not like JoJo because of the art style, and I am still not a huge fan of the art style. But then when part 6 started releasing a couple of years ago, my one roommate that I lived with was watching it, and I'm like watching over her shoulder sometime, and I'm like, this isn't bad. So I watched part 1. I wouldn't say JoJo is good. It's entertaining, but it's also objectively kind of bad. I watched part 1. Great. I'm writing a book based on it now. Then I watched part 2, and I'm like, not as good. Part 3 is twice as long as it needs to be. If part 3 had been edited for, like if it had been streamlined, it would have been so good. I got maybe 10 or 12 episodes into part 4, and I couldn't do it. It got worse as each season went by. The art style gets more and more weird, and I just didn't like any of the characters that we were given because there's like a new protagonist each season, each part. I couldn't. And it's a shame because I really want to watch part 5 and part 6. I feel like I would like those more, but the completionist in me wouldn't want to start watching them unless I finished part 4, even though I really don't have to. But like, I don't want to finish part 4. And I really want to watch part 7 if it ever gets animated. That has not been animated yet, but it's like a universe reset where it's similar characters to part 1, but like an alternate universe kind of them, and it's set in the Wild West. And I just really want part 7 to be animated so I can watch part 7 and be good. I don't know what they're up to in the in the manga. I think they're on like part 9 because the anime is so far behind. But yeah, but I don't know how much you know about JoJo, but for anyone who doesn't know, once you get to part 3, the like premise of the magic system, I guess you could call it, are these things called stands, STANDS, which are manifestations of the soul, kind of, and they all have like specific things. So like the main character of part 3, his stand hits things really hard and has like an instant reaction time, and like stands can do pretty much anything. Where JoJo lost me is when it started giving animals stands, which it did have in part 3. There was an orangutan with a stand. We're not going to talk about that. It's a bad episode. It's makes me supremely uncomfy to think about. We're not going to talk about that one. But in part 4, there's a rat who has a stand. So this rat has a magical power where it can manipulate physical matter, and this is going to be really gross. It makes a meat cube out of other rats. And I'm like, you know what? This is where I draw the line. So that is why I stopped watching JoJo Part 4. And like, I have a couple of friends who've seen it, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, the first like half of part 4 is really bad, but then once you get to the part with this one antagonist who's like the main antagonist of the season, it gets so good. So you could just skip to that, but again, I don't want to skip, even if it means I get to good stuff." It's kind of a dilemma, but I rewatched part 1. I'm thinking I might rewatch part 2 because part 1 and part 2 are like very closely linked, and then it gets weird with things. Bizarre, even. But, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the art style in the manga is like even more exaggerated, so I don't think I would like it. But I kind of do want to get physical copies of the manga for part 1 because I do like part 1 a lot, and I don't care about the rest. As long as I collect part 1, which is done in 3 volumes, I think. I think it would look very lovely on my shelf. They have like these beautiful hardcover editions that are just stunning, but I don't have money, so that's not happening. It is 7:40, and the last timer I had pulled up is a 20-minute one. So I think I'm gonna like cut it down a few minutes just so we have time to close out the stream afterwards. So I'm gonna let's go for 15. I almost clicked it at exactly 15. It's at 15:01. So we're gonna do a 15-minute sprint just to close things out for the evening, and then when we come back, I will say my goodbyes because it will have been 2 hours. This stream has gone so fast, though. I'm very glad for everyone who has come to hang out. It's been nice. I feel that I want to buy all my TBR, but that would cost at least $800. Yeah, I was looking at my bookshelf the other day, and I'm like, I wonder how many books I would have to buy if I wanted to like finish out series where I only own part of it. And the top shelf of my, not this bookcase, the one I have over there, the top shelf alone, if I were to complete series on that shelf, I would have to buy 20 books. And that's too dang many. So I will stick with free little libraries and thrifting and just hope I get some really good stuff because I've gotten some really good stuff that way. But enough of this rant. I'm gonna press play on this timer. This is the Purple Hyacinth timer by the lovely Laura Nettles. Fantastic timers. If you ever need any timers, go to her channel. She's got a bajillion. But I will see you guys in 15 minutes. And that was the end of our third and final sprint. I do see that we had Wallace join us about 10 minutes ago. Welcome back. I hope your endeavor to get groceries before the snow hit was successful. Hoping to get 1 or 2 more chapters edited tonight. Yeah, I've been going for 2 hours. My Sunday streams are 6 to 8. I'm sorry. Lisa, 2/3 of the way through chapter 3. Nice. So what I'm hearing is there might be a late night Rogue Wallissimo stream? Potentially? I have to feed my cats and then get a snack because I'm hungry. That's what I do after these streams, because the cats have their dinner at 8 p.m. and then I usually have like ice cream or something and I settle in to watch YouTube for a couple of hours before I go to bed. I'm glad you were successful in getting groceries. I also got groceries today. Chloe got 271 words and finished a scene. Yay! I love the eyeball emojis. So great. Chloe'd be down for a stream. Just saying. Yes, I just read for that sprint, of course, as I've been doing. I have 35 chapters left. I'm so close to the end. Oh, it's so good. Lisa would also be down for sprints. Such a YouTube kick right now. Become obsessed with watching those cache stuffing videos. Bruh. I see them too, and for a while there, like, I was just going through them. They're so, like, mesmerizing to watch. 399 words. Congrats. So basically, these people have budgets, and the way they organize their budget is they'll have these envelopes and they'll have different categories on them. So they'll be like, this is where I put my grocery money for the week, and they'll put however much cash that they plan on spending on groceries. And then the next one will be like, this is how much I want to spend on entertainment, and they'll put a certain amount of cash, etc., etc. And then at the end of the week, any leftover money they like count and file away or something like that. Those are the ones that I've seen. Sure, I don't know that method, but I guess so. I almost said girl, but then it felt weird, so I'm like, bruh. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's so soothing. Oh, I haven't seen them pop up on my recommendations in a while, though. It's kind of a shame. Maybe I'll have to actively search them out to find them again. Who knows? But maybe just talking about them out loud with YouTube open will be enough for the internet gods to give me what I want. Yeah, we have passed the 2-hour mark, and I'm going to have to say goodbye. I'm very sorry, friends. It's been lovely chatting. Yeah. They are always listening. Let's see. No chaos stream. So I guess the next time I see you guys will be next weekend. I will have a bonus video next weekend. So normally I just do video Friday, short Saturday, stream Sunday. There'll be a second video for the week on Sunday. This is great. So you can look forward to that, and I will see you for next week's stream. I'm gonna press the buttons now. Goodbye!